What's going on, guys? Today I would like to share some thoughts I've had recently concerning both Axis Football and Cal Anderson's game, aka the Smoothie Game. We still don't have a title for that yet, to be determined. I'm going to be referencing a documentary yet again I've used in a couple of my videos. It's a very, very good documentary. The Jaws true story, the untold story of Jaws. I'll have the link in the description. But it's a very good documentary, and it shares some parallels with Axis Football and the Smoothie Game. So I'm going to give you guys a brief summary on the specific section of this documentary, and then I'm going to talk about how the parallels are very similar to what Danny Jugan is doing with Axis Games and Cal Anderson in his Smoothie Game. When you look at a true masterpiece like Jaws, there really isn't a whole lot of movies that are like it. I mean, they did other sequels with Jaws, and it didn't pan out. What was so special about the original? Well, I'm going to touch on that in this part here too, when I show you guys the documentary and I do a recap on it. But there's something about this movie that was done unconventionally, something that is not done today for sure. And it was done in this movie because they really had no other choice, because they were doing this on a day-to-day basis and they needed as much help as they could get. Alright, I'm going to show you the clip now and then I'll recap.
It was like the circus came to town. It was the biggest thing that I'd ever seen.
As the crew settled in, Spielberg and Gottlieb were trying to build a script.
We were working all the time. We'd get back when the sun went down and we wouldn't have much time to do much else. We had dinner together and we spent several hours working on the next day's pages. Literally what we were about to shoot the next day.
A lot of this movie kind of happened at night in that log cabin.
Carl was there doing rewrites with Richard Dreyfuss, Robert Shaw, Roy Scheider, myself, Lorraine Gary. I think in a sense, at that point, it became a little bit like Casablanca, where everybody was throwing their ideas into a central mixing pot and Carl was organizing the ideas into script form.
It made it a joy to write for, because you could talk with the actors about what they were going to say, and they could supply suggestions, because actors study their characters more than anyone else.
It was the most collaborative process I have ever experienced in terms of actors making contributions to a screenplay. All these contributions were trying to get these people, the characters, to come to life.
It was a wonderful time, and everybody's focus was the movie.
Alright, so what does this have to do with Axis Football and Cal Anderson's Smoothie Game? Well, if you watch the clip, I'm pretty sure you've already made the connection. Jaws was a film that was done unconventionally. They had their own actors contributing to the screenplay in this cabin that they were all living in on the island when they were shooting this film. They all lived in the same cabin, and they were contributing on a daily basis. The actors study their characters more than anybody else. So they were able to tell the writer what little changes to make this movie feel more organic. And boy, did it pay off. Now, Cal Anderson and Danny Jugan are doing very similar things with the community. Cal Anderson is doing these chats where we, the gamers, are actually in the chats with the guys that are making the game, and that we're making suggestions on the fly, and they're doing things. I mean, it's kind of the same thing. I mean, this is an unconventional. Ryan Moody was asking Cal Anderson, "Why are you doing this? Why are you doing it like this? This is not really the way it's done." And Jaws wasn't really the way it's done either. But look how that turned out. When you have this kind of interaction with your fans, just like how Danny Jugan has his forums and the dev videos, where he's telling us to contribute by giving him feedback. Feedback is something that I don't think a lot of people understand. It's so important for these developers to get feedback to improve the experience, what they're doing. And I'm going to show you guys another example. This is just a basic thank you of another developer I'm following who's making this mod. It's kind of inspired by his mod that he made for Doom 2 called Unloved. We're giving him a lot of feedback, and he's really thankful for it, and it's helping him improve the game. And I'm thinking, like, this log cabin that the actors and Steven Spielberg were working in to make this movie, the cabin for us is these development interactions with, whether it be on the forums or on Twitter, or whether it be in these development chats that we're having with Cal Anderson. This is our cabin, And we're helping form this. We're throwing all our ideas into the pot. All of our contributions are being used in some respect. I mean, Danny Jugan has made many changes. Cal Anderson is using our ideas. And just about any indie developer that wants his game to be successful relies on the community for feedback to improve the experience. I just want you guys to really soak that in and think about how important community feedback is to the future of good development for these games, whether it be football games or anything else. Good feedback is so vital, but yet you still have people in the community that would rather just bash and just hang on to something that isn't going to happen. All right, guys, that's it. I'll see you guys next time.
Peace.